A familiar sound has returned to Whitney Plantation. Tour buses arriving.
I was happy to be open in December. I will tell you that there was so much that was up in the air. We couldn't even predict. I was speechless. I was heartbroken.
Dr. Joy Banner says despite the extensive damage experienced at Whitney and to the surrounding Wallace community, the Plantation Museum reopened just months after Hurricane Ida.
Every single structure on the site was damaged. And so, I mean, at sometimes we were thinking that we would literally not be open until a year later.
Several structures are still standing, though work continues 1 year later to fully repair the damage Ida caused.
So they're working on the church right now?
They're working on the church. I have not seen the inside of it, and so I have purposefully not walked in there and seen it yet until we walk in there today. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Wow. We almost lost this church.
A year later, the church is still closed to visitors, but if restoration continues at this rate, Dr. Banner says it will be open in a matter of weeks.
So you just replaced the entire roof?
Yeah, and the
Entire roof and everything. This was just an empty shell.
That's the original church, right?
Yep, that's it.
Wow.
So this is it before, this is it right after it was moved, and then there was some repair and restoration done at that point.
Okay.
So it's from a benevolent society.
Okay.
So it was created by emancipated men and women in the 1870s. The extent of history that it has with it, and then the amount of time that it has been in existence, again, it's a testimony to great work that it's been able to sustain these storms.
2 cabins were knocked down during Ida, but one is in the process of literally being pulled back up.
I remember this one leaning backwards.
Yes, this one was completely pushed off its foundation,
Right.
which is why it was slanting off. And so the preservationists created this system of a chain and pulley,
Right.
and literally wrenched it back onto its foundation.
Oh, wow.
Over the course of a month or two.
The work continues to repair the damage at some of the cabins, interpreting life from the perspective of the formerly enslaved. Dr. Banner says Whitney wanted those visiting the museum to know what happened.
So we had these panels installed when we opened up. At the time, we still had the debris and remnants of the cabins that we lost still on site. And we knew as visitors came in, they would wonder, so what happened to the cabins? Why have they collapsed?
And educating visitors on the impact of hurricanes to not only these historic structures, but the surrounding community as well.
And so as a staff, we were thinking about everyone's not only their physical safety, but also the psychological safety and comfort of our staff,
Right.
who, as local people who work here, that have questions constantly about the hurricane, we didn't want that to be traumatic.
While most of the debris has gone away and the restoration efforts began on the cabins, Dr. Banner, a Wallace native and descendant of the formerly enslaved at Whitney, says every structure wiped off its slate on the West Bank is a loss to the community.
So it's just now a memorial, a monument to a family, to a house, to a history that was once there, at least structurally,
Right.
that's not there anymore.
And that is certainly why Dr. Banner wants these families to be able to return home so that they can rebuild their homes and reclaim the area that they've grown up in so that they can continue to have a community in places like Wallace,